Alright, we all know what personal responsibility is. To me, it's a really big deal because I always consider blaming others for your misfortune or looking for others to solve your problems is a really bad thing to do. If you're too lazy to solve them yourself, that's your problem. We're all humans, we have brains, we can take responsibility for the things we do. So when the government starts stepping in to stop things like toys and Happy Meals, I stop in my tracks and I think, why is time being wasted on things like this that are so simple to solve just by a little personal responsibility? How would you feel if delicious fast food was banned from hungry, sleep-deprived college students who work hard and also forget to eat? It's a slippery slope when the government tries to take over from an individual's responsibility. So this is why today I want to ask you not to support legislation such as the San Francisco ban on toys and Happy Meals, or any other legislation that is similar, if it ever comes up on a ballot, because it's laying the groundwork for the removal of simple freedoms by forcing businesses to change sales tactics, preventing people from being able to choose what they want, and minimizing the importance of personal responsibility on an already by putting the responsibility on an already overdrawn government and taking it away from parents who are supposed to be training and raising their children themselves. Now I'm claiming that legislation of this nature is laying the foundations for the future removal of certain freedoms. Freedom like being able to get a quick meal to eat as a treat or a last resort. It's up to that person to make the choice. And in the case of parents, it's up to the parents to decide what is going in their child's mouth. I really don't like when the government or the people in power feel the need to step in and regulate things much below their concern level. I know that, for example, smoking is bad for your health, but everywhere you look nowadays, you see no smoking signs or legislation for no smoking laws. I feel like sooner or later, people will only be allowed to smoke in their own homes, as long as it's not in a apartment building or anywhere near any other person. And in the case of food, it looks like we're going that way. Can you imagine not being able to order food you want because it's unhealthy? That's basically every food item known to man. I'm not a health nut, or at least a little bit, but I know the food, what's good and what's not, and I know that it's my choice to order McChicken or a fruit salad. And I don't want to be banned from having that choice. The people started finding businesses for providing their product the way they want is not fair. Marketing toys to kids is like marketing sex to adults. It works. That's just business. McDonald's spokeswoman Donya Proud said, "We're extremely disappointed with today's decision. It's not what our customers want. It's not something they asked for. McDonald's shouldn't have to change their business ideas and proven successes because little kids and their parents are too lazy and get little to zero exercise. McDonald's even has play places for children, so you can eat your food, but they still encourage you to exercise and play. They're associating their food with fun and play. So, not toys and unhealthy food." As I was learning about this subject, I watched a video segment from Good Morning America where they interviewed a woman who was literally suing McDonald's for marketing toys to children. The mother, Monet Ferrum, says that McDonald's toys, or that since McDonald's is marketing toys with their meals, they have to provide healthy options for the kids to choose. Toys have been marketed for as long as kids and toys have existed. And McDonald's is a fast food restaurant. They make fast food. It's their purpose to sell that product. Why is fast food required to sell a healthy option? It's like telling a shoe store that sells, or it's like telling a shoe store to sell pants so people don't have to go to the store. It's completely on a parent to judge advertising and decide whether to take their child to McDonald's instead of making their children a nice baked chicken breast with some frozen vegetables on the side. This brings me to the second part of my argument, which is the fact that legislation like no toys and Happy Meals is completely factoring out personal responsibility from the equation. To paint a little picture for you about personal responsibility with your kids, every time I visit my nephew, I get really frustrated because I see how his mother feeds him. There could be a thawed chicken breast in the fridge and some frozen vegetables that you just pop in the microwave for 3 minutes and bake the chicken for another 8, and you're going to have a nice, healthy meal for your kid. But she instead, spreads out 6 to 7 chicken nuggets on a baking sheet, which are 200 calories apiece, and bakes that for the same amount of time that the chicken was baked, and then adds a bunch of ketchup on the side for the kid to eat, which is like sugar sauce. And my nephew eats it, and he didn't learn this from TV. He didn't learn this from like his friends at school. It's his mother feeding him that food. That's where he's learning it. Children can't taste through television, and it's up to the mother to teach good eating habits, or the parents. And it's up to them to teach their kids that places like McDonald's is not a healthy option and should be used as a treat. If children get a toy with their treat, it encourages them to want it more. So then, they'll know that they need to earn the treat. McDonald's responsibility should stretch as far as ensuring that the toy doesn't harm the child, which McDonald's does by putting billions of dollars into safety testing every year. Now back to the story of the mother suing McDonald's for providing the toy and high-calorie meals. The woman is saying that advertising is purposefully marketing itself to children. But is this not the point of advertising? Will she next sue Victoria's Secret for making girls think that big boobs and a perfect body is the only way you can look? Parents need to adapt to the new way of life, which is advertising, and they need to work harder and even more on themselves to make sure their kid is taught the right way and knows how to view things. Telling your kid or having McDonald's tell you that you need to eat healthy is just teaching your kids to listen to like hypocrites and people who don't follow their own advice. So today, my job is to convince you not to support frivolous legislation such as bans on toys and Happy Meals. It stunts people's personal freedom and stops the freedom of businesses to provide their product their way. It also completely eradicates the personal responsibility factor in decision-making and parenting. So next time you go to McDonald's, look around and see how many apple slices versus French fries you see. And next time, consider, if you want some fruit, go to the grocery store. If you want French fries, go to McDonald's.
All right, Stephen, what did you think?
I liked it a lot. That was pretty good. That was well organized, and she had a lot to say about the topic. And she had good life examples and examples of just in general the topic she was talking about. I thought the intro could be a little more captivating, and I liked how at the very end she brought it all back, brought up the main points that she was talking about, and recapped it for me.
All right. I thought the opening was a little vague to start with, but it got clearer as you went on. There is a bit of a preview, but some of the points seem like they are just descriptive instead of building an argument, and I think there could be a little bit more drive to the way the idea is developing. I think you do a nice job trying to explain the notion of personal responsibility and using McDonald's as an example of this. The analogy to smoking and later on to Victoria's Secret was an interesting comparison to make. It's visually something that the audience is going to be thinking about, and when you get to the value issue there, I think the comparison is okay. It could be developed a little bit more, but you've got the right idea on those points. You do a pretty good job talking to the audience. Your voice is fine. Sometimes your eye contact is a little bit inconsistent. I thought the summary was not as well developed as it could be, but the theme of the presentation was actually very clear. All right, thank you.